Alrighty, guys, we are here, late night edition. No worries, nothing severe, nothing ongoing in the state. This is just a very late night stream here to discuss some weather, which can be happening over the next 24 to 48 hours. Let's go ahead and dive in. We have snow expected here for much of the state. Looking at the future radar here, let's go ahead and run this through the time frame. Starting tonight, our focus is on the UP, especially. We're going to see some snow overspread. We have a clipper moving through early morning, or should I say, probably morning afternoon time frame tomorrow morning. Here, we're going to see our first snowflakes here in the UP. That will spread down further south here into the LP as well. Very light snow is expected for you guys downstate. And yes, much of the state will see snowflakes, but only portions of the state will see heavier snow. This is going to be throughout the day tomorrow. The entire UP overspread, parts of the lower Michigan overspread here at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. As we move into the afternoon hours, we see a little bit of a snow squall try to develop here in western Michigan right around the evening time frame here. You know, we're talking 7, 8 o'clock here. That could bring some brief gusty winds as well as low visibility whiteout conditions for our west side of Michigan, which is kind of drawing our, not really concern, but kind of catching our eye. We'll see if that trends overnight here into tomorrow's models, but do keep an eye out for tomorrow evening, 7, 8, 9 p.m. or so. We could be seeing some snow squalls that try to push across the state here. Gusty winds, 30 to 40 mile per hour, could be possible in those snow squalls and brief heavy snow as well. As we move into the evening hours tomorrow, this is going to march across the state here. It's going to kick up our lake effect snow behind this clipper system for mainly the UP, but West Michigan and lower part also kicks up here in parts as well. That snow will continue throughout Monday, and by Tuesday it should be winding down, but will likely still be ongoing to start our Tuesday, but should be tapering off as we get later in the day towards that Wednesday time frame. Looking at the model for accumulation in terms of snow totals, see what the model says here. And I'll show you guys our forecast. So here is 48 hours out on the model here. According to the HRRR, this is more of a general idea, not really a forecast. We have a forecast. I'll share it with you guys here in a second. But much of western Michigan here gets in 2 to 4, sometimes 3, 5, maybe inches of snow. And notice the east side as well. Portions of the east side, 1 to 2, 1 to 3 there for you guys potentially over into the thumb. And Metro Detroit, Monroe County area seems to be kind of sneaking into those lower totals there. So do keep that in mind. It's going to be more of a statewide snow again, but not going to be likely not as heavy as what we've seen the past 48 hours, unless you're in the lake effect belt up in the UP or western lower Michigan. Now, in terms of our forecast package here, we do have everything put together. It's not yet published, but we're going to do it here overnight into tomorrow morning. So you guys are going to first look at this late night here. So shout out to late night crew. So first and foremost, we have our snowfall prediction map here. So we have a 2-day event starting tomorrow going into late Monday. We'll likely include Tuesday morning as well in these totals. We'll go ahead and say that. We'll have to adjust if anything looks, significant into Tuesday. But for the 48 hours or so for our snow totals here, we're going 8 to 14 as the highest up by Ontonagon, Ironwood, and Houghton area. We're going 5 to 9 in purple pink color there. And also around that in the dark blue, we're going 3 to 6. So much of the UP, 2 to 4, upwards of 8 to 14 in spots if you're lucky. And then we're going 3 to 6 in a small portion up by the Gaylord area. But otherwise, 2 to 4 is the expectation here across much of northwest lower Michigan. 1 to 3 is going to be the aqua color there. And we're going trace to 1.5, 1.5 inches of snow in eastern Michigan, far southern Michigan, just because we do think that much of the area is going to be probably in the lower end of that 1 to 2, 1 to 3. So we could see isolated 2. Yeah, definitely. But also we could see some freezing drizzle mix in as well as some isolated snow squalls. So if we do get some snow squalls that push across the state, we may very well get isolated higher amounts across the southern part of Michigan. That goes for the 1 to 3 zone from GR to Lansing to Coldwater to Kalamazoo over to Flint, Wixom, Ann Arbor areas. You could see isolated higher amounts tomorrow evening, especially if these snow squalls actually do develop. Now, in terms of advisories, we only have a couple advisories currently in effect for our UP friends. So Keweenaw, Houghton, Ontonagon, Iron, Marquette, Dickinson, Menominee, Delta, Alger, and Schoolcraft counties in effect tonight at 1 a.m. So 59 minutes from now, they go into effect. Those will continue into late Monday / early Tuesday morning at 1 a.m. So those are in effect anywhere from 3 inches to 14 inches of snow, I believe is what the range is on those advisories. So keep that in mind as well for the UP. No advisories downstate currently. We may get those issued tomorrow morning. We'll have to see what NWS does with those. But overall, it's going to be a centered around tomorrow and tomorrow evening event. And then we'll have to keep an eye on Monday as well for our lake effect belts. Now, in terms of the traffic and impact maps, we do have these going up on the page shortly if they're not already. Joel, if you're watching this, go ahead and post those now if they're not already posted. I know Joel's in the background here. So he'll post those here shortly if they're not already. But impact arrows, we did these instead of our traffic forecast maps. Now, we have some confusion here how to read this, so I'll kind of walk you through it here. This one is for West Central Michigan, so locations are approximate. If you're close to these locations, just find the location closest to you, okay? We have 6 of these maps we're going to show you guys. Whichever one is closest to you, kind of go off that. So this one's for Whitehall, Manistee, Harrison, Tri-City areas. Now, the top bar there, the top arrow is for your travel forecast. Green is low impact, medium is medium impact, or should I say yellow is medium impact, red is high impact, and then purple is travel not advised. So we're going to see centered impacts here right around the 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. time frame. That's the worst we expect. As far as precip rates go, your snow, perhaps some freezing drizzle, that'll be impactful pretty much all day with heaviest centered in the late evening time frame. Now, let's go ahead and go in here to the southeast part. We're seeing, again, mid-afternoon to late evening impacts there for southeast zones. Go ahead and move up here to northern lower. We're going with, again, centered around the late evening tomorrow time frame. And then also precip could be pretty heavy in the afternoon time period for you guys. And then going up to the UP, actually, forget the UP for now. Let's go back down here to southwest lower Michigan. This will be impactful for you guys, again, in the evening hours here, especially the worst after 4 p.m. And then for the UP, the worst conditions will be expected, especially in western UP there. We're going to go red pretty much all the way through. Travel not advised late tomorrow evening into early Monday morning there as the heaviest of snow occurs. And then for the eastern part of the UP, we're going much of red here throughout the afternoon and evening tomorrow into Monday morning. And again, if I'm going too fast through all these will be posted on our page here shortly if they're not already. Feel free to go check them out. Just kind of breezing through these here in terms of the forecast for this event. With that being said, I'd like to thank you guys for popping on here. I know it's 12:03 in the morning here, so we're doing a little bit of a late night stream. So feel free to ask questions here if you guys got any. Overall, we're expecting about 36-hour event in terms of snowfall, with much of Michigan getting snowflakes, but only parts of Michigan getting accumulating snowfall that's more than 3 or 4 inches. Let's see some comments here. We have our great mod team here. We got Julie, we got Jas, we got Ben in the chat, we got Kevin, Alan. Who else is on here? Got Summer, Kim, Sherry. Good to see you guys. I know it's late. Apologies for that. Let's hang out for a bit. If you guys got questions about this, go ahead and feel free to drop them in chat. And there's good old Joel in the chat here. Says last call map will be up on the page around 6 a.m. for y'all. So y'all are getting the 6-hour advanced time frame here for you guys. So these maps do go out to members first. But even tonight, we're kind of doing it before that. So sorry, members. This is a late night edition of this. We'll go out to you here shortly. If it's not already out. But that's our forecast. Exclusive early look for you guys here who decided to join us tonight. No problem, DJ. What's up, Fordo? And Jackson misses or loses out again. So Jackson will likely get snow out of this. It probably won't be meaningful in terms of significant accumulation, but you're going to get impacted by some snow at some point over the next 36 hours. Excuse me. What's up, Mike? Lenawee County, dusting or snow shoveling? Dusting. Our forecast is 1 to 1.5 inches or trace to 1.5 inches. The model here, if we zoom in way far to Lenawee County, says 1.2 there for Adrian. So take that in consideration. 1 or so inches is expected. If we get a good snow squall, though, if we go back here to the precip depiction, we could definitely get some heavier or higher amounts somewhere across South Central Michigan here. I'm going to go ahead and pop this back on to show you guys what I'm talking about. For those of you just joining, we're kind of looking at this time frame tomorrow. We have a snow squall kind of push on. I'm from Lake Michigan right about this time frame here. This is 7 o'clock tomorrow. Some heavier snow bands there from Ludington down toward Grand Rapids. That does push through the state here. So if we can maintain that across the state, some heavier snow accumulations could be possible in those. I'm not talking, 6+ inches. I'm talking like an inch or two, a very quick inch or two being dumped by that. So that's still a possibility. Snow squall warnings for that. I mean, that's going to be hard to tell. Looking at the model tonight, I'm going to probably lean toward no, just because the heaviest occurs in West Michigan and Grand Rapids offices. Just overall, Great Lakes offices do not really issue snow squall warnings unless you're like in Detroit. And that is because Detroit sees much less in the way of lake effect snowfall. So areas that are used to it don't really see those warnings very often. So I'm going to say lean toward no, unless we have a pretty heavy snow squall drift into Detroit's area, which is roughly, if I drew it on the map here, roughly from Tri-Cities on. My computer's glitching out. Holy cow! What just happened? Drop this again. So Tri-Cities on south here. That'd be Detroit's area. So anything over in this thumb southeast corner there would likely get a snow squall warning if anything significant happened. But outside of that area, very low chance. Does the forecast include the potential snow squall in south? Yes, it does, Skylar. Yes, it does. I'll bring the forecast again for you guys. Overall, it does. If we need to adjust this tomorrow, we will, but overall looks on track here. And again, would not be shocked to see isolated inch or two higher amounts than this. That's still pretty common in terms of meteorology. You know, if you get 4 inches in the 1 to 3 zone, that's not significant enough to be egregious, so to speak. So isolated higher, definitely possible, especially if those snow squalls do develop. KZoo, we have in the bottom half of the 1 to 3 zone for you. Again, for all your timing and impact in terms of snowfall rates and travel forecasts, this is a good example here. We have these on the page. The top arrow is for your traffic forecast. The bottom arrow is for your precip rate. So the heaviest of snow or rain, whatever the precip is. So for example, here in this West Central Michigan zone, we expect the heaviest precip to be centered around that 8 p.m. time frame, give or take an hour or so. And then for travel impacts, go to the top bar there. We expect it to be the worst between that 6 and about 2 a.m. time frame for tomorrow evening. We have all the 6 zones. We have West Central, Southeast, West, Northern Lower, and also UP East and West. So we have 6 of these arrows here. They're on the page now. If they're not, they should be here shortly. Feel free to go check those out here. If they, I'm going to check if they're posted or not. They are posted 6 minutes ago. So feel free to go check those out. Are we going to get heavy snow for Southeast Lower next week? I thought I seen something on Facebook from us around the 17th. So yeah, the CPC does have a slight risk of heavy snow between January 18th and January 20th. There are some models depicting a system that moves through the Ohio Valley. Whether that impacts us here in Michigan is yet to be seen. But I think just talking with fellow weather people and also taking a peek at the pattern, I'm more intrigued a little bit more so towards the end of January, towards that start of February timeframe, more than I am for January 18th to 20th. Now, I will say we will get cold, but that's going to be a topic for another discussion here. This video focuses on the forecast for the next 36 hours. I'll have a full YouTube video out tomorrow for you guys here on YouTube for you to watch in terms of the cold expectations. But we're going to go into an Arctic blast once again here into the late Monday and to about Friday or so, about 5 days worth of Arctic air coming in. The 12:10, this is late night for me. It's technically morning, yeah, but this is late night for me. Any other questions, guys? Don't want to be on here too long. Been on here about 15 minutes already. I don't see any more weather questions here. Summer asked, how's Pippi? She was in here. She's been annoying lately. She's been in and out, clawing at the door. Gets annoying, but she's doing okay. What's up, Keenan? Good morning to you too. Yes, next weekend does look to be a heat wave, and by that I mean mid-30s potentially. So we're going to be warmish tomorrow. We dive back down Monday. We stay cold until about Friday when we warm back up into the mid-30s. Then we're going to kind of dip back down. So kind of like a roller coaster next 10 to 15 days. But again, short term, tomorrow will be a little bit on the warmer side, 30 or so degrees. And we're going to dip back down into the 20s here, and then teens for lows. Wind chills likely single digits around the state, if not flirting with 0 in portions. All right. Any other questions, guys? Today was t-shirt and flip-flop weather. Yeah, 32 degrees felt like 50 out there. That was, you ain't joking with that. I heard we're officially La Nina. What does that mean? La Nina and El Nino are terms that refer to the oceanic temperatures near the equator. Warmer surface temperatures would mean El Nino, colder would mean La Nina, and neither cold nor warm is a neutral phase. So actually, I have a good graphing here. So a La Nina winter is kind of what we're experiencing now. This is a good depiction of a La Nina, where you have that jet stream kind of dipping down into the central U.S. that kind of allows cold air to penetrate further south. That's the exact pattern that we're seeing off and on throughout the month of, or really ever since the late November timeframe. We're getting shots of these colder airs where the jet stream dips south, brings us active systems, snow squalls, stuff like that. So typical La Nina patterns what we're kind of in, although we're not really a full La Nina yet that I know of. We might, if there was an update recently I didn't see, but we're definitely in a La Nina like pattern. Say that 5 times fast. Yeah, we are seeing cold around that 20th of January as well. That's going to be probably the coldest day of the season if we had to guess. Currently seeing single-digit high temperatures for reference, but that could change. We're still 8 days out, so overall pattern is leaning a lot colder than normal. We'll get specific as we get closer. All right, before I pop out of here, give a quick shout out to our sponsor of the video. We have Katz Roofing and Siding based out of the Lansing area. Roofing, siding needs, go ahead and give them a call. Numbers on your screen there. We also have StormGuard based out of the Detroit metro area. Same thing applies to them. They do a lot of roofing construction needs. Also, we have Pro Powder for power coating needs based out of South Haven. And we also have our Lifestyle Exteriors based out of Traverse City and Lansing areas. They do a lot of exterior work on your house as well. Thank you to these sponsors for keeping us running here at MSC. It is not free what we do here. Sponsors do help mitigate the cost of operations here. So thank you. If you guys need some work on your house or power coating needs, feel free to give them a call. Support local businesses. With that being said, I'm going to pop out of here. I'll catch you guys tomorrow on a YouTube update video. We'll post updates to the page as well. We have our traffic arrows up now. We also have the forecast map coming about 6 a.m. or so, I think Joel said. And then I think that's it. So I'll catch you guys later. You guys have a great night. Stay warm out there.